Hello and welcome to another episode of Lucky the Story. We have a very incredible guest today. Her name is Aria and she is from Princeton, New Jersey area. And she took almost 4 hours of drive today. And I want to thank her parents for taking this time to bring her here. And I think it is commendable for someone like her to take a time off because she is very passionate about the world horses riding, and she wants to share her story about how she got into the horse riding, what is that she developed her skill sets, and most importantly what is her future entails when it comes to the horse riding. Before I start this conversation, I want to take a moment to actually share something about how I see Aria. Almost, I would say, 3 to 4 years ago, I remember we were at their home, and my younger one got a little cut, and I was at a very far watching, and Aria came out and she took a band-aid, and the way she approached and the way she helped my son was very compassionate. I think that's the right word. I think the way she approached and the way she addressed that concern was very commendable. And I think at that time, I think she was almost around 8 or 9. And thereafter, I have told this to her parents many times that, I was very amazed the way she has been raised. But then what it amazes me the most is that she got into the horse riding passion at the age of around 5. I was just talking to her. So we'll talk about an amazing experiences about this individual. And before I hand over to her, I want to take a step back, and I want to celebrate Lucky the Story because people celebrate 100 episodes, people celebrate 200 episodes, people celebrate 500 episodes. Today is our 10th episode. And I would have never thought that this universe will make us come this far. So for me, it is an amazing experience of this Lucky the Stories where we try to bring in people from different line, different age group. And I want to thank Gil, who is the mastermind, who is a camera person, who is a director. He's everything. We have 2 other people who support us, Monica and Navneet, who are not here. Apart from that, I also want to thank my family who is always there by my side, my wife, my 2 kids who are the best critics but have a well interest and things for me. So thank you, universe, and thank you everyone who has so far made it to this show and make it to the 2-digit episode. Welcome, Aria.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm feeling really great about this podcast. I think it's definitely going to help my career somehow.
And what do you think about this whole experience? I know that as soon as you came in and you were, your parents looked at it and they never thought that this would have this kind of vibe and energy. What do you think about this place?
It's very proper and very it's well set up. And I like the backdrop. And I don't know if they're supposed to light up.
Yeah, they're supposed to, but we didn't light it up because we in every episode we are trying to learn through it.
Yeah.
When one episode we had it didn't look good. But if you think it would look good, I think we can next time consider. So this backdrop is just a little thing that we're trying to make a little more character to it. And every episode we are learning how best we can make things more proper. So Aria, let me first start with this. You have a very unique and distinct name. I've not heard that name before. What does Aria means?
There's a lot of meanings. My mom thinks it means princess on a stone, but I searched it up. It said it means lion, like a lioness.
Nice.
Yeah. But I do know my middle name Core means princess.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
what I know.
But I actually this morning, after my coffee, I did a chat GPT to learn about what does Aria means.
Yeah.
And what I found through chat GPT, there are different version of meaning for different countries what Aria means.
Yeah. I heard
In Japanese, it means valley, a deep valley. In Sanskrit means pure soul. and I think there are others, but I think this two distinctly, I feel like this goes back to my thing where I said about when I saw you from far when you were, helping my younger one.
Yeah.
I think it resonates. I think it resonates the way the deep valley, the pure soul. I think it definitely speaks to about your character in the name. So I think it goes well.
That's very kind.
So let's start with the horse riding.
Yeah.
And I want to start with
Favorite?
I want to understand. I want to go in your mind and I want to take you back. When was the first time the word horse riding came to your mind? Like what make you go into this, because this is not a compassion or passion that you see every other day with other kids. So how? Start with there. When did it started and how did this thing become a passion for you?
So I've always loved horses, like as animals, and I used to go always to the local fairs and ride the ponies. But I just vividly remember one day, my dad took me to this it was like a really foggy day, really like a gloomy kind of farm, just to like pet a horse, not even to ride, just pet a horse. And I just remember that my trainer saying, "Do you want to ride her?" And I was like, "Oh yes, I do." And ever since then, we just went regularly, and it was kind of like a habit, and then a schedule.
So how old were you back then?
I think I was around 5. I still remember the date, March 10th, 2019.
Wow. So March 2019, wow. 5-year-old?
Yeah.
And then your parents took you, and then was there somewhere in the past where you read some books about horses and when you saw them it just got connected?
Yeah.
So what was that book?
So my sister bought me like an encyclopedia from her school library, and I still remember I was like writing on the book like, "This is mine, this is Aria's," and I used to just look at that book every day and examine the breeds, how to take care of a horse, like the different types of meanings of the horse, like different definitions.
So this is before even you
terms.
went to the farm.
Yeah.
And then one day when you went to the farm you saw the connect, and that's how it just sparked.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then after that, I tried a little bit of different farms. And the more farms I went to, the more I explored the different types of breeds, the different types of how they manage the horses, different types of venues, all that kinds. And
so I'll give you an example. Like my son, when he says he has some compassionate about something, and he will say, "Dad, I'm compassionate about this and I want to try this." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll make you take and I'll make you go there."
Yeah.
But then how do you convince your parents and said that this is what I really want to do? And how did they give the commitment every week? Because it's a commitment.
it is.
And so how did you convince your parents that, okay, this is my passion and I want to do this? Because what I think in the world we are living right now, we are, and especially in your area, Princeton, New Jersey, it's a very competitive place.
It is.
And every other kids is continuously working and thriving towards to get into the Ivy Leagues, and they want to do something meaningful. IT, AI, all this, right? And now you have a daughter here who's compassionate about this and she wants to build a career in this, right? Or at least go in that direction.
Yeah.
How do you make your parents say that, okay, this is what I want to do and this is where I want to lead my life? And how do you convince them?
So, one thing I did when I was 5, I didn't really convince. I just threw a tantrum. I was like, "I want to do this right now." And as soon as I got on the horse, I was happy. My mood changed like that. And I think that's how they saw, this is what she really wants to do. This is her main sport that she should focus on.
So the tantrum works sometimes?
Yeah, it does.
Do you,
all the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
Is that a technique you use all the time with something else as well when you need to get your way around?
When I need to get out of golf.
Where do you need to get out of the golf? So you don't like golf?
No, I do. I like it, but sometimes I'm just so tired. I'm just I'm out.
Golf is not your thing?
It is. I enjoy playing with my dad, my family. It runs through our family.
It runs through
For
your
sure.
family. So it keeps your family together. You enjoy the moment of being with the family.
Yeah.
So it's more than a golf. It's a family that you enjoy the most. But your heart still lies with the horses. If you have a choice to go to the golf and you have a choice to go to a horse stable, you would rather go to a horse stable.
Yeah.
Nice. So, can you walk me through so that our audience who's going to listen, what is it like a day-to-day life? Like the day you go in, like in the morning when you go, how does that process starts? Like what is the first thing you do into when you go to the stable? First of all, I wanna understand, and it was in my mind. I didn't get a chance to ask this, but you said about pony, right?
Penny.
Penny, right? Penny. Okay, yeah, Penny. What's the difference between horses and penny?
Oh, ponies.
Ponies.
So ponies are more smaller. Like they're bred small, so it's not like they're a baby horse. Like they're fully grown, but their breed is always just a smaller type. And horses are ginormous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every horse is a pony, but not every pony is a horse. Is that a right way to put it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. So do you when you go every morning, or whenever you go, do you have a horse or do you have a pony?
I have a horse named Penny. That's why I got confused. I have a horse named Penny.
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 So like the thing about like you find a penny on the street.
Okay.
Like penny, dime, nickel, like that.
Okay. So you have a horse named Penny, and how long you been with her, Penny?
Actually, I started going to the barn where she is for only 6 months, so 3 months.
3 months.
3 to 4 months. Yeah.
So now, when you go to barn, you go every Saturday?
Yeah.
And then when you go, what is the first thing you do when you go there?
So she's always eating her food, and I always sneak up behind her. I'm like, hey. And then I usually just use my lead rope, clip it on her halter, which is what I use, like what she wears on her face. And then I just start grooming her and tacking up. And I think grooming and tacking up your horse is a very, very good way to build a bond with them.
So it's like, okay, so grooming and what else? Stacking?
Tacking up.
What is that?
Tacking up is you can't just get on a horse and expect them to do everything. There's certain equipment you have to use. So that's when it kind of lies into like a lot of money.
And is that something you have to buy on your own, or the barn provides you?
So the barn does provide it, but I throw a tantrum to get my saddle pads, my different color saddle pads, to my mom because I just love them. Like I like the vibe, the colors, variety. I love it.
So is that something you own a Penny, or is it like how does that work? Like,
so I lease her.
You lease her?
Yeah, when I lease her, I get 2 lessons and 1 practice ride, free ride, where I don't get coached. I just do it on my own.
So every Saturday?
I have a lesson. Okay. Every Friday I have a lesson, and then every Thursday I have a free ride.
But then you also have a school. So this is after school?
Yeah.
Friday? Yeah. Okay. So then you go there. First thing is you groom and then tag, and then she would know that you are here. So does she know that, like pets, for an example, right? So we have a dog. Let's say you have a dog. You can educate, you can train dog in certain ways, and they are so like able to gel with the humans that they understand each other. Does horses also have that kind of mentality that you can train them, or is it like, how does the training works, and how would that you would come to know that she knows you, and like, is there a conversation that goes without saying, like?
Yeah. She might not even know my name, but she definitely, I feel like she recognizes me because I'm practically the only one that leases her. So she knows me, I think, pretty well.
And how do you know that? Is that a sign that you see?
Yeah.
Like what does she do?
My trainer, Miss Mo and Miss Rebecca, they always say, Penny loves you. She doesn't let you do she doesn't let anyone else do this with her.
Oh. So, I was, do you think that, have you seen the movie Avatar?
Yeah.
The second one, I think.
The Way of Water?
Is that a Way of Water? No, the first one, I think, where they, how they have the tail that they touch it and they can fly?
Yeah.
So they have a connection. So the humans, or in that movie of the character, they have this connection. When you connect with them, the animal or that particular bird would know, and they would synchronize with them. Yeah. So I'm just trying to see, does horse have something like this when you do certain things that they would connect?
Yeah.
And
Certainly.
what is that? Do you like? So you said grooming,
Yeah.
and then you pad and all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? And then how long it takes for you to kind of have her feel comfortable? Like it takes what? How long it takes for you to?
So usually she's like already comfortable. She's so used to this. It's like a habit. It's a daily, like, 'cause she gets lessons too every single day. And it's almost like a habit for her. So she's so in like that synchronized, like the pattern of getting groomed and tacked up almost every day. So she's just so used to it. So she's just chilling. And
So is that the when you lease that is that you only have that horse or somebody else?
somebody else.
Somebody also can also lease
Yeah.
the same horse.
Unless, so I do half leasing, so that means someone else can do it. But if you full lease, no one else can ride that horse except the trainers, the barn.
So you can either lease or you can buy. Those are the two things. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So but when you let's say you buy, can you still so you lease the place and you buy the horse? How does that work?
So I lease the horse and I go to the place because the place is like a public barn. So yeah.
And what if you have to buy? Would you still use the same
Yeah,
barn?
you
and
can board. your
what do you
horse.
call? You call board,
Board.
not the buy.
Yeah. So
That's not
board,
the right
yeah.
word.
So
Okay.
boarding tends to range to like, it depends if you want to have like the full one where your horse is inside, like the actual stall, but also gets turned out to another paddock outside. That would range about to like $1,000. But if you do just like a general outside board, that should just be like 600 to like 900, I'd say.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Wow. And so in the barn, you know, when I think about horses, there are two things comes to me. One is this amazing horse is a powerful animal. It symbolizes like in the old days. Yeah. Thank you, by the way. This is an amazing gift that I got today from her. I'm going to have her name written with a signature. So one day when she's become more popular, I can say I got the first autograph. You know, when I think about horses, like, you know, I think about, you know, those HBO's channels where they have this mega, like a Game of Thrones, right? You know,
yeah.
there's like they have the big horses and their rides and all that, the kingdom and kings.
Yeah.
And in the current world, you know, Ralph Lauren actually made a big
yeah.
empire, business empire by having a name called Polo. So in the world of horses, what are the different names? Like I know there's jockey, there is a polo,
Yeah.
there is also dressage.
Dressage.
Dressage. I'm trying to learn
Yeah.
through that. Dressage. Then there is also jumping. There is also what other different lines you have within that?
So I do hunters and equitation, but mostly equitation. That's like my show division right now. So I'll just describe equitation for you. And basically what equitation is you're trying to make it look like your horse's technique of the way it moves kind of fits how you move. And it's so synchronized and technical that the judges are like all for it. And judges love it. So it's like very technical.
So how you move is how the horses move.
Yeah, so you have to kind of synchronize it and get the same pattern.
Okay. And when you say judges, so what does this lead to? Is it like a shows that take place in this, and then the judges
judge.
will judge you
Yeah.
how well you're synchronized with the horse?
Yeah, so like there's about like 12, 13 people in each like class, each division.
Okay.
So my division there's around 11 people, and 11 people in one ring doing like trotting, the cantering.
Okay. So what does this lead to? Like let's say today you're doing this I'm sorry.
Equitation.
Equitation, yeah. So the equitations, right? How long, what does this lead to when it comes to, let's say, 5 years down the line? If you master to this, is there a next step into this, or it is like you just keep mastering and you continue to enhance your skill sets within this?
So you do something called the Grand Prix.
Grand Prix.
The Grand Prix, and you register for the FEI, so that's like the registration. And in order to get into that, you have to show that you can take like tests to show that you know like your technique and you're not just some like person who doesn't know anything.
But can you build a career out of this?
Yes, you certainly can. Like I know this not so good horse rider, Charlotte Dudagen, she has like a net worth of like 2-3 million.
And she does what
She does dressage, and I think
She does what?
yeah, dressage. I think
Dressage. Okay.
yeah.
So dressage. So is there a lot of dressage and competitions that take place in the United States?
Not really. That's more in the UK.
UK.
Cause
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. So she travels to UK?
I think she's UK based. She's
She is
yeah.
UK
She's
based.
Britain. I think British. Yeah.
So do you also research like how do you want to go to UK one day?
Yeah, actually, I wish I was more like into horses when we went to the United Kingdom, London, because a lot of my favorite YouTuber, Harlo Popcorn, she is UK based and she has 500, 600K subscribers, and she posts like about her 7 horses that she has and how she takes care of them, how she does the competitions, and her net worth I think is like also like 3 million, 2 million. 'Cause she
And I remember, that reminds me that actually, I think, was it a year or 2 years ago? By the way, I watch all the Facebook posts that your mom, is so proud of you. And she posts every Saturday after you're done with
I
your.
know.
And, so I see that. So one of the posts I remember, you guys were in India and she met her good friend after so many years and she was able to get you into one of the horse stable, was it? Or no?
Yeah, so
Tell me about it because I read that post and I was so intrigued by her meeting that friend after so long and how she was able to manage in New Delhi, correct?
yeah.
Tell
New
me about
Delhi. It was the race organization in New Delhi. I think they did the racing, the jockey.
Uh-huh.
So my mom's friend Harsha, I believe, Harshanti, she has a brother named Kishore, and he has a lot of horses, and his horses get ridden by other riders and do the races, and he always wins. He's unstoppable. All of his horses.
Are you following him on the Insta? You're on Insta or at YouTube?
Instagram.
Instagram. Do you follow him? Is he on the?
I think he's on Facebook. I haven't seen him, but
So how was your experience there? So you did
it
horse
was
riding.
so cool, and I got to ride this very pretty horse, and there was like a baby horse named a foal. It was a foal. That's what a baby horse is called. And I built such a good connection with him. Even my mom loved that horse. That foal.
So, but then you met that horse for the first time. So, is that your technique and skill set that you have learned, that you know how to make the horse comfort and you bring it to their like you can, like if I have to go, I mean the horse won't even let me sit. But how do you manage? How do you manage to, if you have not met that horse before? Like in your case, like Penny is somebody that you meet on a weekly basis, so she knows you, you know her, so it's a comfort there. But then you have a new horse we have never seen. How do you tackle that? How do you imply the skill set that you have learned?
It is definitely kind of challenging because all horses move very differently. It's what my mom thinks. My mom kind of thinks all horses look the same, but they don't. They don't even look the same. They don't even act the same. But if you're a good rider, you can be able to match and feel how they're moving and adjust your technique to them. And that's the whole point of like an organization called Aria, which I did. It's where you have you go to a different barn, right? And at that barn you'll use their horses that you don't even know. So it's very cool because you get to really see that the unique horses that are out there. And this will help you if you want to buy a horse, you can see all the different types.
So, what fascinates me when I see the horses, right? So you have a rein. So when you hold the rein, the horse knows to stop. When you let it go, the horse rides.
Yeah.
How do you develop the skills with the horse every time? How do you train the horse that when I leave the rein, the horse gonna ride faster or it will move, and then when you hold or when you pat, it accelerates. Yeah.
So when you pat the horse, think about if someone just pats you on the back, it's okay, you're doing a really good job, I'm proud of you, right? Horses, they're very, very smart creatures. They know what your intention is. If it's a different, they'll know if your pat is actually meaning something. If you're just you did okay, whatever.
So they understand.
They understand what you're trying to signal them.
Do you think that is to do only with the horses or all other creatures too?
I think everything, dogs. My dog gets very emotional when my mom like leaves, because he has a very connection with my mom, because of course she feeds him. He gets really upset when we leave. Like, he was crying today when we left at 9 a.m. He was just like, he was crying.
So what do you, it's so bad. I when I'm talking to you, I feel like you have always, like, you are more close to the animals. Is there a special reason? Is there, because sometimes, when I try to get something, or when I try to get close to something, because I may see some vacuum in certain things and I want to fill that vacuum, and I go to that individual or animal. Like, is there something that you feel that you try to find something that you're missing into your current, and you're trying to get it from the animals? That
Definitely, like, when you feel a certain way, I feel like animals can change that based on how they act, and they can sense your emotions.
And what is that? What can you walk, if you feel comfortable, like some of the examples that you have gone through certain emotions, and you think that helped you when you were dealing with the horse, and it changed your mindset? Is that something you want to share?
Yeah. So, like, sometimes I feel like I didn't have the best ride. Like, I feel like I felt very unmotivated. I feel like my horse, she always tries to, like, make it up. Like, she always tries to try her best. Like, she knows that I'm having, like, not so good of a time on her, and she tries to find why that is and tries to fix it. So that's why she's very smart. She critiques herself, kind of.
So she understands.
Yeah, like.
But that's part that you mentioned about the riding, right? What
Yeah.
my point was also to understand, like, when your grades are not good sometimes, we all go through the bad times and all that with the grades, or like, you're sad. When you go and see the horse, and when you work with the horse, or does that change your mood?
Yes.
It does?
It's kind of like a therapy.
It's a therapy?
Yeah.
So you actually, what time you wake up when you have to go on a Saturday, right? You
Yeah,
said?
so I used to wake up at like 7 a.m. because my lessons were at 9, and I wanted to get ready. So I'm always coming there, like, even sometimes an hour on Fridays, like, early, because I like to spend time with my horse. I come early. So it's not just like you just go to the barn to ride. It's so you can spend time with your horse and build horsemanship.
So you sometimes just go and do that?
Yeah, if my
Wow.
mom drives me.
And every Saturday? You have a blessed parents that who
do.
could do this for you.
Yeah.
Because
Really
not
do.
many families who wants their kids to thrive, but they can't, because financially they may
Oh,
not
yeah.
be in a, or at least they may not have the commitment that they could give, because somebody have to work
Yeah.
on a Saturday. So you're very blessed to have that.
I am.
One thing I really comes to my mind is, so you have a passion. Not many, every other kid would have that passion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to also find a friend who would also share the same values and passion.
Yeah.
So for an example, I may have a passion for, baseball. Then I have a
Yeah.
friend in a class that I can talk and chit chat about the
Yeah.
baseball. But then to find somebody like this in a school may be hard, because not everybody falls into
Yeah.
that. So how do you vet it out, and how do you make a point that, okay, now what do I do? Like, not everybody would understand, or not everybody wants to learn about your passion about the horses. So how do you discuss through this in your social gathering or etiquettes? Like, do you find a specific online friends who would have a similar wavelength, or you find where you go every Saturday?
I definitely find where I go every, like, time to the barn. I have a lot of barn friends that I can share, like, my struggles with, and even, like, my positives, like, what's going good. And they share it with me, and it's just like a bond we all have.
So it's like
Together.
a small knit group of bonding within
Yeah.
the barn.
Yeah.
But then what happens with your school friend? Do you still, like,
They definitely are very supportive of my horse riding, but I mean, sometimes, boys, they don't really like it.
they
Like,
don't?
in 4th grade, I feel like I wanted to quit because I got a lot of hate in saying that horse riding isn't a sport. Like,
Are you serious?
like, they think it's not a sport.
So how did you manage that?
I just remembered that how expensive horse riding is, and how I get the privilege to do that, and they just do soccer like every other kid. Like, I'm doing a very unique thing that a lot of other people don't have, and that's why they're hating, because they just do a sport that's very common that everyone else does. But horse riding is so unique. They're like, oh, I haven't heard of that. I'm going to go hate on it because I don't know.
Do you think that the I don't know if the bully is the right word. Do you think that the word bully is mostly for things that people don't have it and they cannot connect to it, so they try to bully others to
Yeah.
make them feel low, so they look up superior?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that's the right?
It's definitely like an envy. Like they try to kind of put you down so they feel like a higher status and at a higher level or superior than you. That's something.
So you said that. How did you manage it? It's not easy. I
Yeah.
mean, fourth grade to somebody go like this is not an easy
Yeah.
thing. So you said you wanted to quit,
Yeah.
and did you bring it to your parents' attention?
No, I didn't. I actually told my mom though what they were saying, and she just just brushed it off. Like she told me like they're just jealous that you have the certain privileges that they don't have. So
I think that's a way to put it. Yeah. But what about school? Did you bring it to principal or school? No.
No, because that just shows that I'm weak and I need someone else to solve my problems. But I really wanted to solve this on my own to show them that I don't care at all what they say.
Amazing. I mean, I'm in my 40s. I need to learn that from, because it's not that easy. It's not that easy. So now do you experience something similar now, or it's the past?
I remember one time I went on it was very recent. It was actually last week. I went on a camping trip and I had my hairbrush in my string bag and I was just brushing my hair, right? And then there was like a little I don't know what it is. It's on like every hairbrush, just little things at the end of your hairbrush. And then they're like, Aria, is that your horse hair? Is that your horse's hair? And I was like, just shut up. Like, stop getting you're just wasting your energy on someone who does not care what you say, and it's mind-boggling. Like, how do you want to get the time out of your day just to make someone feel bad and just to shame on someone?
You just shrug it off and you just
I'm just
move
like
on. It doesn't bother you anymore because you're so ingrained into your own thing that you appreciate and you enjoy it so much. I think the passion takes over anything else.
Yeah.
I can go on this. I have learned so much today about horse riding and barn. I would like to continue this, but I think that time will allow us to only go up till now. But if I have to end with one question, I would definitely ask this: if you have to talk to a horse, and if horse talks back to you, what is that conversation you could do? Let's say what would you talk to a horse? And if horse talks to you,
I feel like I would tell them about what's going on.
About?
Maybe something happened at school, something bad, like the bully. I feel like my horse Penny, she's very sassy. Like she sometimes bites me.
She bites you?
Sometimes.
And why would she bite?
She's just very sassy and she's just sassy.
So if she has to talk, what would she talk back to you?
She'd probably be like, "Girl, just ignore them."
Girls just ignore them, huh?
Girl, be for real. Just ignore them.
So you feel like if you have to say in the order of the best friend, would you say your human friends or a horse? Who would be your best friend when it comes
probably my horse.
For your horse, huh?
You know the saying a dog is a man's best friend? For me, it's a horse is a girl's best friend.
Horse is girl's best friend? Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but thank you, Aria. This is amazing. I can't thank enough for you to take this time. I know it was 4 hours drive in summer. Yeah. It's a heat wave.
Oh yeah.
It's a lunchtime. Your parents, thanks to your parents who took this time to bring here. And I wish you all the very best. And
too.
If there is one thing I'm learning from this episode, if I am going to take back, I'm going to teach my kids how not to worry about what people have to say. Follow your passion, because that is the key. Because
that will get you somewhere in life. Hating on someone will not get you anywhere in life, really.
Yeah, and my kids are actually behind watching this. And if there is anything, they would definitely take this back. But I want to thank you again for giving me this opportunity. I have learned so much, and you are an amazing human being. A 12-year-old with this kind of passion is not that easy to see. So, thank you. and continue to follow your passions.
Thank
And I'm
you.
sure this universe will help you. The money doesn't matter. If you have a passion, things will fall in place.
Thank you.
And is there anything you want to share before we close this? Anything you would like
I think
us to change, improve?
improve. I feel like one thing, this might be a lot for you, but something I think you should do
Yes.
is if there's a certain theme, like someone's coming and like they're gonna talk about, you should change the backdrop to that theme.
That's a good idea. I think we should consider that.
Or you should do like a little intro video and showing like the highlighted clips, so like people will already be tuned in.
That's a good idea. I will I don't have an extraordinary big team, but I have a very extraordinary, amazing team of 2 or 3 people that I'll bring it to their attention. Is there anything else you find that we could, do you feel comfortable? Was it comfortable for you to answer things? Was it something you find it that I could have asked differently? Because every
No, I
episode
think-
I'm trying to learn through this, and I want to make sure that we give whoever is listening to this, if there is one thing that we want to take out, we are not trying to make this episodes like one of the biggest episode, but if somebody can learn from this episode, that's an achievement. That's an achievement for you, because what you are trying to do, if one person can change, I think you have made an impact.
Yeah.
So
I don't think there's anything I
No?
could say. I liked all the questions. I think they all made sense. And I feel like I could answer them easily without getting like off track as much.
good. Thank you, Aria. So this was a story about an individual who has done a great job since she started her passion from 5, so she's almost 7. So 7 years she's been following her passion, and she continues to do that. I hope you get to enjoy this amazing passion story about Aria, and stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you very
Go
much.
subscribe.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe, because we have one new subscriber and she had one more
Yeah.
subscriber. Yeah, you want to share that?
So thanks, Aquia, for subscribing to my friend Lucky's channel.
Thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you for everything.